This is a quote by Philip K. Dick, and this is how one of my favorite games of all time begins, SOMA. It is just such a nihilistic and depressing interpretation of reality, something that, whether you believe in it or not, it doesn't even matter. It just is, and you can't do anything about it. SOMA, developed by Frictional Games, is a thought-provoking video game that delves into themes of consciousness, identity, and the nature of existence. Through its narrative and gameplay mechanics, SOMA prompts players to contemplate profound philosophical questions, including the classic thought experiment known as the Ship of Theseus. Hey guys, Juicy here. I hope you like the new look. I'm gonna try to segment some of my videos, so if you see that I'm using the grape juice box, it probably means that I'm talking about games. If I'm using the Apple one, I may be talking about media in general, like movies, TV shows, comics, manga, anime. And if I'm using the Mango one, that means I'm gonna be talking about arts or music. So I really hope you like this type of segmentation in my videos, so that people that want to stay for some stuff specifically can know which videos to watch. Thank you all for your kind support, and I hope you enjoyed this video. So with nothing less to say, let's get back to the video. The Ship of Theseus is a philosophical paradox that raises questions about identity and persistence over time. The thought experiment poses a scenario in which every component of a ship is gradually replaced with new parts. As each plank, nail, and beam is changed, at what point does the ship cease to be the original Ship of Theseus and become something entirely new? This paradox challenges our intuitions about identity and raises fundamental questions about the nature of existence. In SOMA, players assume the role of Simon Jarrett, who finds himself in a mysterious underwater research facility called Pathos 2. Through a series of events, Simon discovers that he is not in his original body, but rather a digital copy of his consciousness uploaded into a robotic shell. This revelation parallels the Ship of Theseus metaphor, as Simon grapples with questions about his identity and whether he retains the essence of his original self. Like the Ship of Theseus, SOMA prompts players to consider the nature of identity in the face of radical change. The game challenges players to confront the idea that identity is not inherently tied to a physical form, but rather emerges from a continuity of experiences, memories, and consciousness. One of the central ethical dilemmas in SOMA is the dehumanization of consciousness through digital copying and manipulation. Players are confronted with the unsettling reality that characters like Simon Jarrett are reduced to mere data, their consciousness transferred into robotic shells or stored in digital simulations. This raises profound questions about the sanctity of consciousness and the ethical implications of treating sentient beings as disposable entities. While SOMA explores complex ethical dilemmas, it also presents players with a sense of moral ambiguity that can be deeply unsettling. The game's narrative forces players to grapple with the moral consequences of their actions, as they are tasked with making life-altering decisions for the digital entities they encounter. Throughout the game, players are thrust into situations where there are no clear-cut right or wrong answers, forcing them to confront their own moral compasses and wrestle with the consequences of their actions. Whether it's choosing to terminate simulations or perpetuate the suffering of sentient beings trapped in digital purgatory, players are forced to confront the ethical ramifications of their choices. Furthermore, SOMA explores the ethical implications of consciousness transfer and digital existence. These moral dilemmas echo the philosophical questions raised by the Ship of Theseus, highlighting the complexities of identity and the blurred lines between self and other. This moral ambiguity is exemplified by the game's ending, in which the player is presented with an ethical quandary and outcome: embracing oblivion, perpetuating the cycle of suffering, and sacrificing one's own humanity for a greater good. SOMA challenges players to consider the broader ethical implications of their decisions within the context of the game world. While SOMA's exploration of ethical dilemmas is thought-provoking, there is also a risk that the game's dark themes and graphic content may desensitize players to the moral implications of their actions. The game's narrative and gameplay mechanics often prioritize shock value and tension, potentially overshadowing the deeper ethical questions at play. Furthermore, the emphasis on horror and survival elements may inadvertently trivialize the ethical dilemmas it presents, reducing them to mere plot devices or obstacles to overcome. This can lead to a disconnect between players and the ethical complexities of the game world, ultimately undermining the intended impact of its narrative. Artificial life, often referred to as synthetic biology or artificial intelligence, raises profound ethical questions about the nature of consciousness, autonomy, and the sanctity of life. Creating life in a lab raises concerns about playing God and the potential consequences of manipulating the building blocks of life. Additionally, artificial life forms may lack the intrinsic value and rights afforded to natural organisms, leading to questions about their treatment and moral status. Furthermore, the creation of artificial life could potentially disrupt ecological systems and pose unforeseen risks to biodiversity. Consciousness transplantation, also known as mind uploading or brain emulation, involves transferring the contents of a person's mind, including memories, thoughts, and personality, into a digital or artificial substrate. While the prospect of achieving immortality or transcending the limitations of the human body may seem enticing, it raises profound ethical concerns about identity, autonomy, and the nature of personhood. One of the primary ethical objections to consciousness transplantation is the potential loss of individuality and the erosion of what it means to be human. The transfer of consciousness into a non-biological substrate raises questions about whether the resulting entity would retain its original identity or become a mere copy of the original individual. Furthermore, the process of uploading consciousness could be inherently destructive, resulting in the death of the biological substrate and raising questions about the continuity of consciousness. Consciousness transplantation raises concerns about the potential for exploitation and abuse, particularly in the context of unequal access to technology and resources. The ability to upload one's consciousness into a digital realm could exacerbate existing power dynamics and inequalities, leading to the creation of digital elites who wield unprecedented control over society. The pursuit of artificial life and consciousness transplantation raises profound ethical concerns that must be carefully considered and addressed. The creation of artificial life challenges our understanding of the sanctity of life and the role of humanity in shaping the natural world. As we venture further into the realm of technology and biomedicine, it is essential to approach these endeavors with humility, foresight, and a great commitment to upholding the fundamental values of ethics and morality. Only by doing so can we navigate the complexities of these emerging technologies and ensure that they are used for the betterment of humanity rather than its detriment. In conclusion, SOMA serves as a compelling exploration of identity, and the Ship of Theseus metaphor really matches the vibe of this game. By paralleling the Ship of Theseus, SOMA invites players to contemplate the intricacies of existence and the profound implications of technological advancements on our understanding of what it means to be human. As players navigate the dark and immersive world of SOMA, it is essential to critically engage with the ethical implications of the game's themes and consider the broader societal implications of technological advancement and human consciousness. Ultimately, SOMA serves as a cautionary tale about the ethical pitfalls of unchecked technological progress and the moral responsibilities that accompany advancements in science and engineering. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate everyone's time today to come here and listen to me blab about a game that came out a real while ago. I'm really grateful that there's a lot of people that are still watching my videos, and I don't know, I just get a really great feeling after uploading a video and reading all your comments and just having a nice chat. It really makes my day to listen to what you guys are thinking about. So you know the drill. Leave a comment below, leave a like, subscribe. My name's Juicy, and I'll see you later.